So hi all, it's good morning here. So good morning everyone. I just finished up watching The Boys Season 5 Episode 7, and before that I want to say that one day before I made a video, and I was telling them that there are so many problems with the writing as of moment that it's very 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 hard for them to come up from there. But I want to say that this is the best episode of The Boys that I have watched, like in all the 5 seasons, and one of the best episodes of television I ever watched. Like everything they used was really well written. Like everything was just perfect. Like I would say, like this is one of the best TV shows. Like one of the best TV episodes I've ever watched. Up with like Euphoria. This episode like ups there with like Euphoria season 2, with some of the moments of course like The Wire, and this is incredible. Like this is the writing that everyone was expecting from the get-go, especially of this season, like the get-go. And they had some good moments, don't get me wrong, it was not all a bad season, but like before this, like the past 2-3 episodes were very weak, and I'm really happy that they have finally they are able to do something, and they are able to find logical progression of the script, and that is just so good. So of course, like the main thing that stands out in this episode is like the Frenchie and the Kimiko, and of course the name of the episode is also the Frenchman, the Kimiko, and I think something like that, and the man they called Mother's Milk, something like that. So they were able to use all three of them correctly. Of course Frenchie and Kimiko are the center forward in this whole like scenario of this episode, but they use Mother's Milk too very well too, in the way he motivates Starlight. And my goodness man, like everyone that is in this episode has been just so phenomenal. Like they are able to bring Marie Moreau back without having anything cheesy. They are able to bring Emma back without having anything cheesy. That is just so well made. They are able to bring the amazing Joe Kessler back, and they nailed him, man. He was so well written. He was so well made, and he was so properly written character. And my goodness, man, that whole scenario, the whole sequence of Billy Butcher, and the whole way that Joe Kessler just explains what Billy Butcher did actually in Panjay Valley, because we did not know about this. We thought that it's a simple story, but Billy Butcher, the way he explained it, my god man, the way that thing gives you chills. And Billy Butcher, this is the best episode for Billy Butcher in the whole season, and probably the whole show. It's very rarely means he gets spotlight, but he is always second to Homelander. But this was the place where they put Billy Butcher up front, and boy oh boy, it is fantastic, man. It is amazing, it is phenomenal, it is amazing, man. It is just, everything is just so amazing, man. It is like the whole sequence of even Sister Sage, they able to do justice to her, which was not a well written character at all, but they were able to do justice to Sister Sage. They were able to even put Soldier Boy, do something with Soldier Boy, because he was, before this, he was completely growing from here to there, what was even going on. But then they established that this time, that what actually was Soldier Boy's motive in making Homelander immortal. He did it only for Clara Watt. Yes, he explained it in the last episode, but it was very bizarre. It was why? But of course, they wanted this to happen because Soldier Boy has to give immortality to Homelander, so that Homelander can become a formidable villain. And now the boys are the only thing that stands in front of Homelander, and it is just phenomenal. And before even all this, the moment the first the very first scene of this episode is watch, of course it's, I think Homelander sitting in the White House? Is it the very first scene, a very first visual? And then he immediately goes on to literally do the worst thing imaginable to the most powerful man in the world politically. And the way it starts, my goodness, man, it is just amazing. Like, Homelander also nailed it. Also, it was nailed perfectly from Billy Butcher, Joe Kessler. This was their episode. It was really well made. Now so the thing where I am a little bit skeptic is that Homelander wants like a homeland and like a sanctuary city of himself, like kind of those kind of things, which is a little bit off, like for Homelander, but because his character has been more about always people worshipping him and completely different. Like, I don't know what was his perspective, because the way they parodied the real world, and of course the way it is a little bit directionless for Homelander to create his own city and it will be only his people living there. It is just a little bit silly, and there will be very few people who would be living there, so they properly show. And from the promo that we were seeing, that these characters Dreadnought and She-Line, why are they there in this episode for no reason? But they use them, and yes, they do something very bizarre with them, but they use them properly. Ultimately, I would give them credit where they deserve credit. So it was very well written. So it was very well made. Okay, where else do we see? Of course, Frenchie and Kimiko, they have their moment before an ultimate sacrifice. I'm very happy with one more thing, that they did not just rushed up with killing all these three characters. Like, I was literally thinking that three of them will be over, but we can see that ultimately that Kimiko is going to be the main person. Kimiko is going to be one of the most important characters in destroying Homelander at the end of the whole show. So it feels very apt that they let Frenchie go away in the 7th episode, and it feels very good that they are able to keep. I think should also be sacrificed, and so probably should Starlight be, because it should be Yui, and I think Butcher should live too, man. Please, come on, man. That guy had so many bad things happening, man. Come on, man. Is it his fault? Was there ever his fault in that? So Billy Butcher should live too. Billy Butcher, Yui, and I don't know, should live or not, I don't care. But yeah, Billy Butcher and Homelander should live. And I think Kimiko, we don't need, but yeah, Billy Butcher and Yui, they both should live. And I hope that, so what they did with Soldier Boy is that Soldier Boy wanted to go to Bogota, and because he just mentioned he wanted to go to Banana Republic, but he actually was, he was just going to just wander around like Wolverine in X-Men movies, just gonna do whatever he wants to do, like Wolverine used to do, like a nomad. That would have been fun, but they don't do that with him. What they do with him is that he is literally been captured by the one and the only, who is that guy, Homelander. I hope they finally release him, man. I hope, means Soldier Boy is not a threat to anyone, so he should be it won't be a problem if he's just moving around everywhere. He's just going around, nobody cares. Billy Butcher has the moment in which he kills another soup in this episode, and boy, that was delightful. He just enjoyed it, and we enjoyed it so much more. By the way, that superhero was such a that Soup was such a prick. He was trying to, that was such a fun moment. And I hope, and I'm pretty sure that Billy Butcher would want to release that virus too, that will end all Soups, and probably before that he will be stopped by Yui, like it happens in comics. Probably means they will try to follow a little bit of the comic, and they will try to follow a little bit of the the original storyline. Of course we see that now Kimitro is going to play an essential role in in stopping Homelander, and of course it's Starlight will also play an essential role. So it's a good thing actually that they are going to do a team up way to beat down Homelander. I'm also at the same time thinking that why are they they will be using a lot of these Soups too, Marie Moreau and who else, Emma, and I think so it will be they will try to make it like Avengers Endgame, probably. It might look a little cheesy, or probably Homelander will one by one beat them all, and then the final two will be Butcher and Kimitro, and probably Ryan, I don't know. And Ryan will also, of course, Ryan will also be coming in this time, but Ryan coming now will look very odd because he already had his moment, man. You don't need him again. But I think they will bring Ryan again. It will look a little odd to bring Ryan. What else? Okay. Homelander has, of course, acted really well in this episode too. One of the things that I was noticing the most, this episode definitely, I will again emphasize that the writing was just phenomenal. As compared to even it is just a huge upgrade. I don't know what they were thinking, that they were probably, I don't know why did they have so many filler episodes. If they have so much to cover, even they could have shown Marie Moreau and who else, Emma, they both have shown them too, have doing something, and then some small stick, to save something. The Deep is now completely, I think his arc is completely over. There's no 7 anymore, but it is probable that they can they can do the same thing as was done in comics, that after everything gets over, Deep is the only remaining member of the 7, and Deep then goes and becomes a, what did they say, Deep then becomes a part of the new superhero team. They might do that, and they might put him with Stan Edgar's new superhero system. I think in the end, Stan Edgar will the ending of the Boys, Stan Edgar will probably issue a formal apology for everything that was done by Watt, and their business will go on now, and as usual. It would be fun to see that that Stan Edgar would literally be starting a new company after Watt. It would be fun. I hope they are able to show that Stan Edgar is Frederick Watt. That would be a really great twist. I know it's very over now for everything. We don't need any of this now. But they should be able to do that. They should be able to do that twist. That would be fun. That would be a funny twist to see. That would be a really interesting twist to see. But done at this end of the series, it would be a fun thing too, because if somebody was expecting Stan Edgar to be Frederick Watt, it was supposed to be out in 6th episode or 5th episode of this season. So if they do it now, it will be something interesting too. So they should think about it. I don't know about them, man. I'm just everything else, this episode was just one of the best watches. And even when Homelander literally the moment Frenchie, he hides Kimitro and Sister Sage in that room, and Frenchie is outside that moment is such a good writing, because how Homelander is going to come. Homelander will be coming, and he comes, and what is going to happen. Like, he's going to, of course, Frenchie is going to sacrifice himself. Of course, Frenchie is going to, die. But that's so much fun, man. That is just so much fun. And I think this is the first time Frenchman and Homelander have a conversation. That was some funny thing, man. To see, like, my God, it was such a nice way. Like, Homelander having a conversation with anyone other than, like, normal superheroes, like powerful superheroes. That just looks so awesome, man. Homelander doing anything other than, like, his own thing, like, he feels so out of context, and it feels so funny. And it's like so funny and so out of, like, the whole scenario of Homelander, because he is now a god. He thinks that he's a god. He's like calling himself a god all the time. God. It's so funny, man. It's so funny. The way Homelander even, like, lets, Deep, gets Deep fired, and then Deep is like, hey, please let me run it. I will do it for you. And then Homelander is like, I don't care about you, man. I don't give any single F about you. It was a really funny thing. Like, the whole, like, this episode was like, they did so right with Billy Butcher and Homelander, and they completely nailed it. Like, it was the best writing ever. What else, White Woman? What else? Starlight also got her moment, as far as I remember. Yeah, Starlight got her moment. Like, people who hate her are ultimately saying thank you to her. It's like very nice. Yeah, just I just hope that in this whole series they did a lot of bizarre things, like they do with, like, this episode they do it with She-Line and Dot Knot, and it's just, man, come on, man, don't do all that. Like, you don't want it to be completely edgy too. Like, people should watch it more and more. And I know it's for adults, but the show has to be, it was fun. What else? Okay, so everything is now in place. I think this 8th episode they will rarely spend time on anyone else but Homelander and, like, the whole boys team coming for him. It's going to be a very good episode, man. The 8th episode. But, again, you cannot put your expectations too high, we don't know what's going to happen. Like, anything can happen. Like, I think I hope that they will end this well. Like, if they have written the 7th episode well, probably they will try to end it well. Oh my God, I cannot see a bad ending of this show now, man. Come on, man, don't disappoint me now. I hope that they do it well, and they don't have much things to do. Like, the only thing is just don't spend too much time on Ashley again. Like, this episode 2, Ashley was there. It was worthless. Like, it was like to see her. Like, what are they doing? Like, why are they showing his character or anything? Like, I think she will become the new face of. I think probably she will be the co-CEO of what or something like that. Something like that will happen. So let's see what happens. But it was a very well written episode. I want to see Stan Edgar again. There will be, of course, this guy will be back. Ryan will be back. Stan Edgar probably will be back for the final episode. Who else will be there? Yes. I think Queen Maeve, will she be there? I don't know. We don't know. Not worth. Probably they might put Queen Maeve there. Probably Queen Maeve might just come there and just say that, hey, I was the one really up there, and he is not a god. He is ultimately a killer or something like that. And Queen Maeve might show up, like, in the final episode. Who else? Because who is that? Eric Kripke himself said that it's very unlikely. After season 4 ended, Eric Kripke himself said that it's going to be very unlikely that we will not see Queen Maeve before the show ends. and that actually is fair. Like, Queen Maeve for one final episode, one last time in the end, probably joining them like Captain America joined, like in the, in the fight, something like that. I know she doesn't have any superpower, probably, but she can like still like some use. I don't know, but it would look cool too. Like I'm very happy with again what they did with Joe Kessler. They did not spoil his one, like 5 to not even 5 minute presence on the screen. They did not spoil it. Like I'm so happy. I'm so damn happy damn happy that they did not spoil Homelander and Frenchie talking to each other like solo, like that is so fun. What about Mother's Milk and Homelander? Will they also have a talk, one-to-one talk? What about Soldier Boy and Mother's Milk? Like, will they be having will Mother's Milk be controlling Soldier Boy after everything ends? Will Mother's Milk get the hold of this machine in which Soldier Boy is, and he will be keeping him forever in his thing? Like, who knows? Like, probably probably they will put him like they will probably put him trapped in ice. That would be something like that. That might be a plausible ending, that Homelander, after Homelander is gone, Mother's Milk will keep Soldier Boy in that chamber at his house forever, and that's fun. That's gonna be fun. So it was a great episode. I would love to see Soldier Boy back again, and probably show him at the end joining with the boys, beating down Homelander, and just like going home, like just going somewhere else. Like he is ultimately like he's a nomad. He has done terrible things, but who cares? Like, he's going to just grow forever. He's just going to grow out forever. So it's gonna be fun. Okay. What else? Okay, so yeah, I think that was all for this amazing episode. Thank you so much, everyone who was there to watch it, and let's be hopeful, not be completely optimistic too, because ultimately these are the same people who wrote the past 2-3 episodes. So, but for the future episode, let's be hopeful, but let's not be completely hopeless too, because they can write a good show, they can write a good television, or they can write good cinema. Like, they have shown it, like it's very good. Like, thank you so much to the creators of The Boys, man. Like, it's a good show, especially till now. The last episode will define everything, so we will wait for that. Okay, so thank you all.